Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's a different time zone, but no matter where you are, we are so happy to see you this morning, afternoon, evening on the Chicken Box. Yes, with two X's, where our theme is Don't Be a Chicken, Get on the Box. The Chicken Box is powered by the 133-year-old, and so used to saying Jay 132-year-old, but 133-year-old Afro-American newspaper. We really are not a newspaper, guys. It's 2025. We are a media company. We are a tech company. Our other host likes to say we're not tech savvy, we're tech sexy. But regardless of what you call us, we are the Afro, and so glad to have you here. I'm Francis Toni Draper, CEO and publisher. I'm on with my co-host, one of my co-hosts, Jay Jackson. Hey, Jay, how are you today?
I'm very well. I'm very excited for this conversation today. How are you?
I'm well, and good to see you. Jay is tuning in from Mexico.
Yes.
I'm in Baltimore. Our other host, Impeccable, should be on in a minute, and we never know where he is in the world. But today we have an exciting show. We hope you will not just sit and listen, but you will interact with us. We want your questions. We want your comments. We want you to share. Some are watching now live. Some of you are watching later. But in any event, let everybody know that we are on the box. And so, Jay Jackson, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce and to bring our guests. I'm so excited about these two guests today, Jay. I can't wait to talk with them.
Absolutely. So on today's show, we actually have legendary recording artist CeCe Peniston and Franklyn Baker, who is the president and CEO of United Way Central Maryland. Look, the United Way Central Maryland is celebrating 100 years. And so we're bringing on these folks to talk about it and their connection to this organization. So firstly, CeCe Peniston, Cecilia Veronica Peniston, if you may not know that, is more than just a singer. She is a force of nature whose voice has uplifted, empowered, and inspired millions around the world. From the moment she burst onto the music scene in the early 1990s, CeCe has been an undeniable presence, blending powerhouse vocals and an infectious energy that continues to light up dance floors and hearts alike. Her breakout anthem finally became a global sensation, reaching number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the UK Top 75. More than a hit, the song became a declaration of joy and self-discovery, an anthem for anyone who ever longed for their moment to arrive. CeCe's career is marked by not just chart-topping success, but by unforgettable moments that speak to her impact beyond the music industry. She has performed for legends like Aretha Franklin, sung at the Vatican for Pope John Paul II as part of the Sisters of Glory, and graced both inauguration ceremonies for President Bill Clinton. She made history as the first foreign female entertainer to perform in post-apartheid South Africa, using her voice not only to entertain but to unite. Her influence has earned her a place among the greatest. As a passionate advocate for arts education and philanthropy and an ambassador for the United Way worldwide, CeCe continues to use her voice not only to entertain, but to inspire. Whether on stage, in the studio, or empowering communities through mentorship, she remains a beacon of talent, resilience, and artistry, proving that her legacy in music is far from over. We also have Franklyn Baker, who is the president and CEO of the United Way Central Maryland. With nearly 30 years of diverse expertise in nonprofit organizations, he has been the president and CEO of United Way Central Maryland since 2016. Under his leadership, the organization has experienced measurable shifts in culture by expanding opportunities and access to basic needs, as well as tremendous growth in revenue, the number of people served, innovative programs, and a number of volunteers engaged, among other achievements. During his tenure, United Way has expanded its homelessness program and family stability sites, spearheaded new educational equity initiatives, and launched the development of 2 new family centers providing affordable childcare and early childhood education. Baker focuses on partnerships that amplify the voices and power of community leaders and residents to strengthen lives in neighborhoods. Baker's leadership, as well as the United Way's impact and focus on high-needed communities, were factors in philanthropist Mackenzie Scott's decision to award the organization $20 million of unrestricted donation in 2020, the largest gift in the organization's 100-year history. So that is a mouthful, But thank you both for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Thanks for being here, Jay. Thank you so much, Dr. Draper.
Oh, well, you all both are welcome. Listen, that's about the only thing we're going to read is those bios, but your bios are so impressive.
Thank you.
We wanted to do do them justice and not just shortcut it. And there's so much more we can say about both of you. But I'm excited to talk with you, as I've said. Franklyn, we've known each other for a while. CeCe, glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
100 years, you don't look a day over, 30.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
The United Way is part of a larger system. This is the United Way of Central Maryland. CeCe is a national spokesperson, songstress for
Ambassador. Yeah.
Thank you for helping with that word.
It's okay.
Well, Franklyn, tell us a little bit about the United Way, your work, the United Way of Central Maryland. The meaning of 100 years. I mean, a lot of places don't last 1 year, much less 100 years. So tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Draper, and thank you, Jay. I want to say I'm so thrilled to be on with CeCe. She is just a phenomenal icon, but also an ambassador for United Way Worldwide. And so United Way Worldwide, to your earlier question, they began actually in 1887. And so sort of in the ballpark of where you began, Afro, right? Sort of in that ballpark. And so they began in Denver, and it was just really an idea of bringing community together, uniting community. A few priests and pastors and a woman and some others joined together with one idea. How do we join our forces? How do we collect some dollars to make a difference in community during these turbulent times? And so it is now expanded from one site to now over 1,000 United Ways around the world in 36 countries. And we are probably, to this moment, probably the largest privately held nonprofit in the world, right? And so it has been a phenomenal movement. As CeCe and I were talking about this backstage, it's been a phenomenal movement from its early beginnings to the present, with much, much more to do going forward. And the primary areas is this whole space of health and human services. How do we increase resiliency in community, viability of our neighbors and our residents? How do we get them to a place of economic mobility? And so we have been doing this as a movement since that time of 1887.
Wow, that's a long, long time. So either one of you can tell us about what's happening in just a couple of weeks. I think the date is October the 11th. There's a big Centennial concert. I'm going to be in the house.
Oh, yay. I was wondering if you was going to be there. Good.
And maybe you can let other folk know. Oh, there it is. It's coming right down across the screen. Thank you to our producer at 7 o'clock. But tell us a little bit about the lineup, about what people can expect. You still selling tickets, or is it sold out? Or so either one of you can tell us about that. And then CeCe,
and I'll lead off and let CeCe fill in. I would just say that United with Central Maryland, for your audience, is celebrating 10 decades. Let that sink in. 10 decades of service. So for a century, United Way here in Central Maryland and sort of the greater Baltimore community, we have been really there for the communities, right? So good times, bad times, doesn't matter. Wars, recessions, and public health challenges like COVID and so many other things. So our mission for your viewers really is it's always been to rally the community, to tackle its really big challenges, but also the everyday struggles that our neighbors face, right? So, United Way Centennial, which I'm so excited about, and I know CeCe is, it just sort of reminds us, while we've accomplished so much, there is so much more to be done, right? So in fact, if we've ever needed everyone's support before, we surely do need it now. And I know that phrase is familiar to you, Dr. Draper. But the milestone, I think it celebrates the power, but not only that, I think also the promise and as well the generosity of the greater Baltimore community, but also those we serve. So it's a celebration of all those things. And I'd love for CeCe to just weigh in from your perspective as you got the question as well. What's up with this incredible benefit concert?
Well, the beautiful thing is it's not just a concert, like you said, it's a movement. It's to continue to help the community to grow. It's through, youth opportunity. Giving back to the community is something that I completely love to do. I feel like God gives me so much. And I feel like, being able to give back to the community is definitely a mission for me. Makes my soul feel good. And to be able to be a part of the concert as well, to be a part of the concert and do the movement has been like such a blessing for me. Common will be there, the Whiskey Feathers, Alicia Jefferson. I'll be doing the United Way song that I did along with Byron Garrett, Issei Mura, and Marcus Barnum. We came up with a song for the United Way called United is the Way. And I'll be doing that with the Baltimore City College Choir. So I think it's going to be an amazing time for people if they come out.
And if anybody's ever heard that choir before Dr. Draper, they not only can sing, they can sing.
Yes.
They can blow. They're energetic and youthful, but have lots of inspiration and passion. So we're just excited about the whole entire thing. I love the word movement that you keep saying, CeCe, because it's so true. It's so true. It's really a movement. And how do we get more and more and more people on board and play whatever their role is? Maybe it's volunteerism. Maybe, using your skills to help in a school or do some reading or a farm or whatever your interest areas are. Or maybe it's advocating on the Hill for a bill you want passed that's going to impact positively your community. Or perhaps it's giving $5, $20, $100, whatever you can afford to propel the work. But we just really are pleading with your listeners and your viewers that whatever we can say to get you involved, just start there, get involved. Go to the website, uwcm.org, and just learn what we're about, what we've been doing for even just the last decade, how we've shifted to not only providing funds to help nonprofits, but also seeking funds to help the more than 30 programs that we do, which I'd love to talk about that, Jay, in a few moments, is fund some of the incredible work that we're doing, changing so many lives day over day over day, and it's just exciting.
Excellent.
Jump
So, two questions. One, CeCe, how did you find yourself getting involved with the United Way, very specifically? And then the second question to Franklyn, it's been actually let's I'd like to hear from CeCe, and then I'll jump into the second question. That way I can remember what it is. So, CeCe, because I'll easily forget. CeCe, how did you find yourself involved with the United Way?
Well, I love the mission of what the United Way does. I would say you can always hear with your ears about what the United Way does, but actually being involved in programs that help. And I'm traveling in different places around the world, meeting different team members who not only help in the Maryland area, but globally. So I got a chance to see kind of like what the United Way does globally. And I was like, that's something I would love to do. Like I said, I'm one of those people who like to give back. I have my own 501(c) as well. So it's just something that like is within me to do. And so just with the whole, like mixing music, which makes it amazing, mixing music along with the movement. It's like my lane already.
Right. Now, how long have you been connected with United Way?
This has been about like 3 years now.
3 years. Excellent. And I mean, clearly you are a huge advocate for this. You're doing this concert and what have you. You've done a song. I mean, that's amazing. And you said you have your own 503c organization. And what is that organization? Is that very similar work to what the United Way does?
Yeah, I would say so. It's just me doing it individually. And it's definitely also geared around helping children, like I'll do stuff like give instruments to kids, stuff like that, like whatever their dreams may be, like it's my place to fall in. If someone needs a scholarship, if they need an instrument, those type of things. I like to help out with creative in the arts and people who may have dreams and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm like, hey, the foundation can help with those things. Me being a musician myself and understanding like at a young age exactly what I wanted to do, it's always nice to get that kind of help.
Excellent. And You're absolutely right. Sometimes you need that leg up, right? Just to get yourself
Yes.
to baseline, and then you can progress as well. Franklyn, the mission of the United Way of Central Maryland, has that sort of moved and shifted over the last number of years? I mean, especially, I feel like I bring this up in almost every interview, but it's sort of this elephant in the room, especially coming out of COVID, where the country has been really, lives have been changed and flipped in ways I think people didn't expect. Have you found that sort of the focus of the United Way has changed as people have ended up in situations of, needing more help where they maybe didn't think they would, or you've got more people kind of shifting into that?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. I really do believe, we started out back in 1925 as this sort of community chess, and so it's now like a powerhouse of help and hope for all those in community and neighborhoods, and it provides services and sort of wraparound supports right in our neighborhoods, right? So our work is focused on, I'd say in a nutshell, meeting pressing challenges, sort of tackling those larger issues that often hinder equity and access, and it really is becoming a barrier for opportunity to receiving basic needs, right? So for us, it is, how do we, yes, provide support to other burgeoning nonprofits, those who need capacity to continue to thrive so they can do work, so we can scale impact, but also how can we, as a local agency, maximize our impact in community. And so when I started, we were probably supporting 5,000 to 6,000 lives per year, which was phenomenal because we had shifted our model back in 2015, 16. And now we're upward over 130,000 lives per year by the various programs and initiatives that we've scaled and also expanded during the last decade. So it's just incredible to see where we've been, but most important, Jay, where we're going.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I just have to imagine any of these organizations. I mean, the United Way is, one of the bigger hands in all of this, right? I mean, it is a name that everybody knows, whether you know like exactly what the United Way does or what the Central Maryland version does, or if you realize there's one in your state, right, or your area, because you said it's international. It's a name that people know. It has real recognition. I just have to imagine that things are moving and changing in ways that even the United Way was like, okay, we were just not expecting this, as far as, people needing food and, helping, these young organizations kind of, getting a little bit of a help to try to move up. So it's nice to see that an organization as big as the United Way is able to pivot so quickly, but I guess that's sort of the nature of the business too.
Just to give you an example, Jay, before the pandemic, we weren't doing a large amount of work in the sort of area of mental health supports or digital divide, right?
Sure.
Or we weren't doing at scale anyway, eviction prevention. But because of the trust, to your point, because we had been around for 90 some odd years when the pandemic hit, trust in the brand, trust in the name, we're not going anywhere, we care about community. A lot of opportunities sort of fell out of the sky, including in your bio reading from me, the $20 million we got 10 years ago from McKinsey Scott to help us, right? But at the end of the day, there were so many things came to our lap because of those things were in place. Trust, concern, and the durability of the organization through rough times, wars, recessions, et cetera. So now we've become even more focused on residents in the neighborhoods they call home, and how do we lift them up? And our sort of vision really is where everyone thrives, right? We won't rest, we won't stop until every single person has that opportunity to thrive here in Central Maryland, and then by extension, Maryland. And we hope we can be United with Central Maryland. We hope we can be a beacon, a flagship for so many other United Ways around the world that are looking for some of the things we're doing extremely well here. We're just fortunate. I'm humbled. And you know this, Dr. Draper, you've met some of my team members. Probably second to you, I have the best team around.
That's correct.
And you're a diplomat as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Listen, if you all are just tuning in, this is the Chicken Box, powered by the Afro News. Go to afro.com, and we are so excited to have our two guests here today. I want to pivot just a little bit. We tell stories all kinds of ways at the Afro. We tell, yes, some people we still tell stories in print, but we tell stories on your mobile devices. We tell stories through video. We tell stories on Facebook. We tell stories on TikTok. We tell stories all kinds of ways. CeCe, you tell stories through music. I told a friend that you were going to be here on today. She said, please ask CeCe this question. What was your motivation for writing or singing or producing under no circumstances? She just wanted to know. She said, that's my favorite song, my favorite CeCe Peniston song. Please ask her what the motivation was. She said, if I could sing, I probably would have wanted to write a song like that myself.
You talking about He Loves Me Too? Is
Yeah,
that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
That was a real story. Look.
Uh-oh.
But
like sometimes
we like stories. We're storytellers, and by the way, our audience is worldwide. It's not just Baltimore and Maryland. So tell us about the real story.
Well, basically, it was like there was a situation going on, and it says, under no circumstance will you make me doubt my man. I know that he loves me too. It's one of those things where there was like a little situation going on, and I was like, the best way to get past having a situation that you feel some type of way about is to write about it. And so I wrote about it, and it became like this anthem that people really love, especially like in Chicago. Like it's like the house heads really love that particular song. So I'm glad that she loves that, because it tell her it was a real story.
Well, she said to me, she said, you know what? She said, CeCe is so versatile that she's across the, we got her, she's in the house music scene, right? So, yeah, so she wanted to know, well, I have to, if she's not listening in, because she was working when I talked to her earlier this morning, she can catch it later. I'm going to tell her it's a real story.
Yes, definitely. A lot of that happens. I think not just myself, but most artists, I think you just have to, in order to get past the situations, they always say sometimes you need to write it down. And I think that's just definitely the motivation of where I came from. Just like even like with Finally was a real story. I was 21 years old. I had just met the man of my dreams, and we ended up getting married. We knew each other about like 6 months. I know that was quick, but we knew each other about 6 months, and we ended up getting married. And so that was a real song as well. So real moments in my life.
Well, you preach to the choir. My husband and I met on Labor Day. We were married January, 5 months later. So don't, it's okay. 6 months is really okay. And so you use your music, you use your storytelling to uplift people, to unite people, and to tell real stories. And speaking of real stories, let me backtrack a little bit to you, Franklyn.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example like of a real story, well, of course, without names and all of that, but
Sure.
A real story of how United Way has used somebody's story to help?
Yeah. And we received some, of course, permission to share the couple names that I'll be sharing. Okay. So no issues with that. But I would just say first is one of our suite of programs, initiatives, wraparounds is what we call the United Way Family Center. So 2 of them are located in an actual high school, and they're supporting student parents. So teen moms and their fathers, really focused in on the age range between sort of as early as 8 weeks old up to 4 years, right? And these are youngsters who often come from families that are in crisis or active trauma, or in scenarios where it's just really tight financially with minimal wherewithal. So struggling. And so you add on to that a baby, right? You're a 16-year-old, now you have a baby, or 17 with a baby. And just so the audience knows, the average high school graduation rate for a teen mom or student parent for the last decade or more has been hovering around 40%. So 4 out of 10 folks who are pregnant in a high school graduate from high school because they have the conflict. Need to stay at home sometimes. The baby is sick, not motivated. It's a lot of stress. So our program has been running now for over 10 years in South Baltimore, that particular location. The graduation rate has hovered Dr. Draper's hovered between 70 and 80%. Phenomenal. And so as a teen, Janelli, she became a mother. And in fact, we just had a 10-year celebration within the past year. And so her world changed overnight, right? She was overwhelmed. She was really unsure, uncertain of what came next. So she found herself at a crossroads. So that's when she walked through the doors of our family center. So with compassion, with guidance, the family center just helped Janelli learn how to be a stronger mom, to stay in school. She graduated and became a healthcare professional with the help of the program. She earned her CNA, everyone knows that, Certified Nursing Assistant certificate, through the United Way Partnership Program. Then she went on to get her Certified Medical Assistant certificate. And so she's now going into nursing school. So it is just so incredibly phenomenal and touching. Talk about motivation, CeCe. Talk about passion, right? When you see someone who's at that critical stage, not a lot of family support, and then we're able to wrap around her, provide all the things she needs, not the least of which is love. And I believe, as I've said to you, Dr. Draper, I believe many of us are in the love business, right? Right? We cared for people, helping them to thrive, to live their best life on their own terms, to really, really get to that place of hitting their goals and aspirations. So we're so proud of her and her daughter. She's now, it's incredible. She's now turning 12. And just to think about where they were a decade ago and where they are now, right? And she's thriving in school, straight A student, her daughter. And so just proud of that,
So let the record show many of us, especially the United Way, are in the love business, not the hate business. We're in the love business. I'm gonna stop a little bit of a personal privilege from Impeccable CeCe. He was on for a minute.
I saw him. It's been a long time. Good to see
hello.
you.
It's been a long time for our viewers. He's Impeccable is also the manager of Cisco and Drew Hill, and he said, "Tell CeCe hello." So, hello, CeCe.
Hello. Tell him so. Send my love back.
Yeah, okay, and he's probably listening. He had a terrible connection, so
yes, no problem.
He dropped off. But thank you, Franklyn. I'm sure that it's not just that's the tip of the iceberg in the number of stories that you could tell, and that we want to tell to give hope and to spread love. Jay Jackson, you look like you've got a couple of more things you want.
I'm always like ruminating. So okay, so a couple of things. What is what would you describe as sort of the spirit of this concert that you guys are putting on? I mean, obviously this is all about sort of the legacy of the United Way, Central Maryland, but can you give us a little bit more? What do you feel like the spirit of, and this is a question to both of you, by the way.
Sure. You want to go first?
Okay, sure. I think that it's like I say, it's not just the concert, it's definitely a movement, because I feel like the feeling of what you get lasts far beyond the concert. The concert is the concert, and the moment is the moment. But I feel like definitely it's one of those things that's gonna last. We got some, like, past the concert part of it. We have some great artists on the bill. Some of them who are my peers. I've met some of them, but not everybody on the bill, which is great, because I feel like as an artist, I get a chance to see other people and their talent and their artistry and enjoy it as well. Instead of just being the only musician on the bill that people are watching, I get to see them do their thing too. So I really, really love that. So I think it's going to be a great time. It's fun. Yes, there'll be some speaking. There'll be some singing. There'll be the United Way. The United is the Way song. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great time for everybody. I think we just come on out. Just come on out.
Right.
I think the one word, Jay, that I would use is celebration. It's and CeCe is right on with the word she was using. I probably could throw in unity and joy and hope and all those other words, but celebration is just huge, right? And so, but it's celebration, not just a sort of small C for United Way. It's capital C for celebration of our community.
the work that we have done to enlarge the power, the capability of so many nonprofits, the folks like Janelli and others, another Franklyn, who was part of our Young Men United program. He was in foster care and he had 2.2 GPA in the 10th grade. He got in our program and graduated with honors this past May, 4 acceptances in the top-notch colleges. It's hope, it's power, it's the spirit of resilience, and how can we continue to not be satisfied with the status quo? You know, as wonderful as the numbers sound, Dr. Draper, and all the programs we're doing is reaching a lot of people, touching lives. We can never, as I think about Jim Collins and, you know, going from good to great, we need to keep thinking about going from great to excellence, you know, that highest possible level of impact. And so I just think this is going to be a celebration, but it's a celebration of all the things that have been happening over the years. So many people, and we just want to be set up so well as we step into our second century service in January. We have everything we need to continue to succeed, you know.
Excellent. Is there a way that people can still get tickets, or how could they go about doing that?
Yeah, go right to the website, www.uwcm.org, either /100, or you can do www.uwcm.org/concert. Either way gets you there. And we are just excited about the process. What we have understood, Jay, from so many others, and CeCe, you know how this works. You've been in the game for a long time.
Yes.
People start sort of sitting up in their seat and getting ready to purchase tickets somewhere around 3 to 4 weeks before. So we're in that window now where people are going to start paying attention and start thinking about, okay, where do I want to sit and who do I want to invite? And so we're right at that time now where people are going to start paying attention.
Well, you got to contact babysitters and all that, right? You got to.
That's right.
You got such
right.
All right, look, I get it. I understand.
Everything.
That's right.
That's right. So
That's right.
I guess to me, the United Way is such a powerful organization, and it has had a heck of a start for the first 100 years, right? I mean, I don't think anybody can say anything but, you know, largely super positive things about the work that you guys do. My question is, what does the next 100 years look like? Obviously, we will. I don't think we'll all be around in 100 years. You know, maybe technology will get really interesting in the next 5. But what do you see? What do you see happens in 100 years? Where is United Way in 100 years? What are things that you're thinking about that maybe seem like small issues, but may become issues that you guys have to deal with, right? And here's like a weird scenario, like with technology and AI and everything else, and people maybe losing their jobs and things like that. These are things that we sort of talk about as a horizon thing, but they may become larger than we realize. Is the United Way thinking about these things? Are these conversations happening, or just are we doing like, let's just stick on philanthropy and we'll just kind of see as we go? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would just say at the end of the day, Jay, it's we will always have people who are below the poverty line, unfortunately, right? We will always have people who are between the poverty line and a place where they're starting to be able to afford some of the basics well. So we'll always have some percentage of what we call ALICE. Their assets are limited, their income is constrained, but they are employed. They're working 1, 2, or 3 jobs to try to make ends meet, but it's just so difficult to keep pace. So we will always have those two populations. But the goal, to your point, will be how do we leverage, you know, all the generative AI and all the things that we have no idea about now, right? Because 10 years ago, I don't know about you, Dr. Draper, but 10 years ago, we had no idea what generative AI was, Chat GPT and some of these other things we're using now. But we don't have any idea 5, 7 years from now what will be that next sort of generative idea or process that could take us to the next level. So we'll be wide open for that. We are a learning organization, and I'm sure, CeCe, you've heard from Angela Williams, our global CEO, and so many others that you visited, that there is this movement afoot to make sure United Ways are learning organizations. So we take in data, we use it for proactive assessment, looking at trends that are happening, but also making decisions based upon the data that we're given. Like through our 211 helpline, we get so many calls, over 100,000 calls every single year, Central Maryland here, And we're looking at the data to see, okay, a lot of calls about homelessness in this part of the region. Do we need to stand up homelessness prevention program in that particular neighborhood or that set of neighborhoods? So we'll always be in that space of learning and listening to neighbors and residents and stakeholders, but we'll be also open to leveraging all of the more efficient ways to do the business we've done for so long.
Sure. Yeah, I think having sort of rooted in the past of what you guys have done, staying present in the things that you're doing, and sort of an eye to the future, and how you do leverage these things or see potential problems that are coming that you can kind of be a, you can kind of help get people through. I think it's a really good aspect of way to look at your organization.
And one of the things I would just say too is, in addition to sort of maintaining the posture of we want to be a region where everyone thrives, right? But also we want to expand our partnerships and our collaborations. I mean, one of which is, I think about the Afro. I mean, we have done so much more in recent years, Dr. Draper, and we're so proud of the partnership. But, with business in general, with government, community leaders, how do we continue to expand those partnerships, those collaborations, so that, that old adage, old African saying, if you're going to go far, you got to go together. You're going to go alone, you'll get very, very short distance going alone. And so we just need to make sure we are truly working in partnership and collaboration with colleagues like the two of you and so many others. Yeah.
Excellent. CeCe, what do you see your future role at United Way? Do you want to do more of these kind of central sort of celebratory movement concerts? Do you want to be more involved in the sort of the day-to-day? How do you see your future in the organization?
Oh, I definitely see some more concerts in our future. The way that this one has been tailored, I think, like I said, it's going to be amazing. I'm happy that I can bring the music side of things, but I'd also like to bring like if there's a program where I can bring some day-to-day, that would be great as well. I think that people probably think that maybe I just want to do the musician side, but I also do, like I said, I like to give back. So it's my pleasure, and definitely along the way with an ever-changing world, I think that there'll probably be some programs that will probably come up in the future where it's like, hey, CeCe, I think this would be a perfect insert for you to get involved. And so we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, we're ever-changing and ever-moving.
Well, CeCe, I'll tell you, like my grandparents used to tell me when I came over their house, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it.
Hey, let's go.
We love for folks like you who are just so busy traveling around the world and doing a lot of things to just stop for a minute and give back. So that's a blessing. It's an honor. We'll certainly work on that and obviously according to your calendar and schedule. But we love when folks are busy and doing a lot of things, decide to just say, you know what, let me give back in a meaningful way and in a different way. So
I think it's necessary. And I've been doing this music business since 1990. I actually singing since I was 11 years old. And so it's like at a certain point in time in your life, there are different missions that you would like to see for yourself. And that's why this fits me so perfectly, because it's definitely something that's authentic for me, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize really how much artists give back.
I agree.
Yeah.
And how passionate, when artists find a cause that they really want to support, they are passionate about that cause. And so
absolutely.
So I think, CeCe, kudos to you. And yes, Franklyn, thank you for the partnership with the Afro. We value that. But kudos to you, because I don't know what it means, but that's a big title, being an ambassador. I don't know all that it means. I know some of what it means. Being a spokesperson, being the person out front, being the champion for. And so when an artist with your kind of following really takes that on, it means something for the organization as well. As you said, you're not just an entertainer, while entertainment is great, but you are much, much more. And if we think back to history, that, the Harry Belafontes of the world. I mean, there were a lot of folk that just, Sidney Poitier, they walked the picket lines. They did that. That was their way of giving back as well.
Absolutely.
I think there is definitely times it's like you just need more. like for me, just to stand on the stage and sing, like I know that I get to create memories for people, which is a beautiful thing. Like, and because people do that for me. It's like when I hear people singing, I'm like, dang, I remember when that song came out. I was here and I was doing this. And I
Yeah.
think those are the beautiful things, like when you hear a song that it has that type of effect on you. But I think once you come off stage, in fact, I know once you come off stage, there's other areas in your life where you want to be able to give back. And so that's why it's like definitely the thing for me. So yeah.
Excellent.
Good. Well, that was good. We're getting ready to wrap up our conversation. We allocate an hour, and we have about 15 minutes left in this hour. But let me tell you what we do at the end. Franklyn BCJ knows this. Just to give you a little bit of heads up, the chicken box really is a conversation, guys. And yes, we have a topic, but we talk about a whole lot of things. But in the last few minutes, which we're approaching now, we say, don't be a chicken, get on the box. You can talk about anything that you want to talk about. You can talk about what we've been talking about. You can talk about anything else that you want to talk about that's related or not. You can tell us, CeCe, if there's another song based on a situation you want to give us a little more detail, a little more insight on.
Give us a little bit of tea on that one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
A little tea.
you want to give us a little tea. You know, we're in the storytelling business, so we always are looking for a good story. But you can frame it any kind of way that you want. If you want to lift up a cause, you can do that as well. And so this is your chance before we get on the box. So we want to thank those of you who have tuned in on today. We've tried to put your comments up across the screen in the bottom half as we have been talking. We certainly want to put back up Asia as our producer. Asia, we want to put back up how to get the tickets to the concert on October 11th. And Franklyn, he said it very nicely. We tend to wait until the last minute, and then the concert sells out. I'm on the box now, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all how we do. The concert sells out, and then we start calling everybody we know and say, I really wanted to see CeCe, and I wanted to see Carmen, and I wanted to be in the house. Who has a ticket for me? Right? And so don't do that, y'all. Get your tickets now. Get your tickets now so that you can be in the house.
Yes.
Joseph Meyerhoff Symphony Hall is a beautiful venue. If you live within driving distance of Baltimore, Maryland, come on, y'all know we do what we want to do. I hopped on a plane last week and went to Buffalo. I wish I had stayed home, but that's different. That's a whole different story. But we do what we want to do. So I'm on the box. Support the United Way of Central Maryland. They do good work. They need your support. They're not raising money just to raise money. They are raising money so they can impact the communities that they serve. And on top of having a very, very able CEO in Franklyn Baker, they have a beautiful, talented ambassador who is going to be there. And once we want to see you in the place. Jay, you should come on up from Mexico.
I'll hop a plane. Absolutely.
Come on, Jay, let's go.
I'm on the box about support. Let's support those who support us. Let's support those who support our community. So having said that, while I'm on the box, and so you know where we're going next, Franklyn, you on the box after me.
Okay.
Jay on the box after Franklyn. CeCe, we're going to ask you to give us the final word, right? But support those who support us, especially in the times that we are in. Absolutely. And Jay hit on it. AI, yes, is changing some things, but so are the economics. People who don't think they'll need help now may need help next week. The way people are losing their jobs in the private and public sector, the way prices are increasing. Never say never. You don't know when you might be. I don't know when I might be in that circumstance. And so we're grateful that there's a United Way of Central Maryland as part of the greater United Way family, whose mission it is to sow love through tangible help. That's right. So I am off the box, Franklyn Baker.
Thank you. I will stand on the box now and say, one of the hallmarks to my life, and I've tried to humbly live it as best I can. I made mistakes. I try to be very transparent with my team, my family, and others that are in my circle. My mentees, I have lots and lots of mentees that are doing extremely well by just really doing what I've suggested, also trusting in the higher power. And so, but I would just say, here's the saying, which I live by, and it is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If we could just live that, folks who are listening, folks who later will watch it later, just recognize there's always a way for you to show your care first. And when people see that you care, they may not even focus as much on the PhD you have or the master's degrees or the multiple years of experience. They really are driven by your care and your compassion. And my daughter embodies that, because she is, and I don't know if you knew this, Dr. Draper, but she is in her 6th week at University of Baltimore Law. And she is doing well so far, knock on wood. But I saw a message from her that she forwarded to me that she sent to one of her friends who was having a difficult relationship with her father. And she just laid out in a lot of detail about her reflections of me. And I cried like a baby, because it was just such a comforting thing. And the main thing she said over and over again was, my dad cares. And I just try to live my life as best I can to care for folks. It could be my daughter, my wife, relatives, people in community, homeless. It doesn't matter who they are. They're a human being. They're precious in the sight of our Maker. And I really believe that's important as I get off my chicken box to share with people. Just care for others.
Amen. I feel like passing the plate there. Wonderful. Jay Jackson, you are on the box.
Okay. So I often, for folks who don't know, I often like to quote people who I think are much better at this than I am. So I'm going to quote the CEO of United Way, Angela Williams. I think it's a great quote. No one can whistle a symphony. It takes an orchestra to play it. And I think that's a really important message. It's very succinct, but it makes a lot of sense. We cannot do it all by ourselves. No one ever has, right? This idea of like, I was born and then I became successful all by myself, that doesn't exist. That story does not ring true for anyone. And I think the United Way is here not just to help people who are really quite suffering, but sometimes you need just a little bit of a leg up and you can do amazing things. Like if you could just get that one little, boundary out of your way, or just make it over that one hurdle, you can get enough momentum to get yourself going. And I think people largely sometimes forget how powerful just that one leg up is, whether that's like you got an auntie who helps, pay your tuition for a semester or something like that, or gives you $50 a week so you can get some food while you're in college or what have you. Those things can make a massive impact. Now take that and extrapolate that out to an organization like the United Way, and very specifically United Way of Central Maryland, helping people to get that leg up so that they can keep moving forward. And look, you've been doing it with style and grace for 100 years. I am very excited to see what you guys do in the future. And I appreciate all the work you do. And I'm sure that all the people that you've helped appreciate the work that you do. I'm sure they couldn't say enough positive things. So the United Way isn't just some big nebulous nonprofit organization. It's real people, right? Doing real work and helping real people and making things happen. So I appreciate, Franklyn, I appreciate your work, obviously. CeCe, using your voice, not just through singing, but I mean, quite literally as a person that, people know from a celebrity standpoint, and, using that influence to then bring more notice to this organization, I think is amazing. And your own work with your own 503c organization, I think is powerful. So I appreciate both of you and your time. Thank you.
Amen. CeCe, you on the box with the for the last word. I'm gonna do a PS to my word for something that Jay said. I want a hug on the 11th. I'm gonna look for you on the 11th.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
All right, there you go.
I know I
You
did.
got it.
I may get the chance to see her before or after, but yeah, that's my personal request. CeCe, you are on the box.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who listened in today and just in general who have always supported me. It's platforms such as the Boxx and United Way, where people don't get just to see the face in front of everything, but they get to understand the heart behind it. And I'm really thankful that people get to know me on a different level. It's funny, I would say one cute fun fact about me is that um, the way that my music was going or my songs were coming out were probably the way that my life was going. And so that's when I talk about the impact of music. It was like finally we got a love thing, but it was inside our pride. Now keep on walking because we had a crazy love. Look. So it's just sometimes it's like if you get to tell the story through music. And again, being a musician and being able to come off the stage and also make an impact is very valuable. And I'm appreciative again of being on your program. And thanks for having me today.
You're so
And
Thank you.
welcome.
thanks to the United Way to be able to showcase being able to give back to neighborhoods and communities and youth opportunity and resiliency. And again, happy anniversary because your 100 years just doesn't come around that often.
Absolutely. Thank you. What a fitting close. Let me add my thank you to Franklyn Baker, CEO of the United Way of Central Maryland, CeCe Peniston, who needs no introduction, known worldwide, yes, for her music and for her advocacy and contributions to community and as an ambassador for the United Way in general, right? All of the United Way. So Franklyn, you've done something to get her here to Maryland. All right.
We're grateful.
And before we go, Franklyn or CeCe, tell us who else is on the lineup on October 11th. And there's across the screen, that's how to get your tickets. So who else is there? We know CeCe's there. Who else is there?
Common, Alicia Jefferson, the Whiskey Feathers, the Baltimore City College Choir. Look, me, I'll be there. Look.
There you go.
I'll be there, but not singing unless you want the Meyerhoff to empty out.
You said what now?
I said, I'll be there, but I will not be singing unless you want your entire audience to leave early.
Oh, see, look, they're gonna love you. Look, see, just for that, look, you got to come up. Look,
Bring her on stage, please, by all means.
That
And
part.
CeCe, she's messing with you. She's off the box now, but she's messing with you. I've heard her in the Center Club in Baltimore City. She was bellowing out a song at this prayer group. And I was like, did you miss your calling or what? So she can carry a nice tune.
With two of my favorite friends, and you don't know who was really making the tune. But anyway, thank you all for being with us on today. Impeccable, I know you're still listening in. Thank you for your cameo appearance. I know we know you had tech difficulties, couldn't say anything. Asia Perry Martin, our she just got married. Asia Martin, our producer, we thank you. October 11th, 2025, the Joseph Meyerhoff Symphony Hall, the Centennial 100-year celebration of the United Way of Central Maryland. We're going to be in the house. Get your ticket and also get your subscription to the Afro. Go to afro.com. We say for less than the cost of 2 Uber Eats, $40 y'all for a whole year for your digital subscription. Come on, let's support one another. And Jay Jackson, you have the absolute final word, and then we're going to sign off.
Thank you. Look, people need a leg up, and organizations like you are paramount in a lot of people's success, whether they want to realize that or not. So keep doing the work. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate this.
You are welcome.
We'll
Thank
see you
you.
there.
All right.
Maybe even
bye.
Jay, we could teleport you, man, from.
Hey, look, you don't have to teleport. Plane tickets cost money. It's a real thing. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.